my name is Haley Castillo, and I'm going to be doing economic security for a case study on Fairbanks and a little bit in general. So, what exactly does economic security do? So, without economic security measures, the disabled, impoverished, and elderly would be able to uphold their standard of living. When people don't have a stable source of income, they become more focus on money and they start saving, trying to save as much as they can. And this is bad for the economy because it reduces the flow of money, which can have a lot of backlash for the overall US. So for Alaska, there were two big issues I found, but the problem is that we're relying on oils and gas as well as fishing. And yeah, I don't think for for oils and gas, I don't think relying on taxes and gas of extraction is going to be the best long-term strategy for Alaska. Oil may pay the bills in Alaska, but other industries employ more people and provide more stability. If oil stays in the price range that it has been for the past couple years, the oil companies are going to keep hiring workers and buying equipment and developing fields near their existing infrastructures, and that's eventually going to stop. There's not an unlimited supply of oils. So eventually those investments are going to start to decline. And the second thing was fishing. So with fishing, it's one of Alaska's biggest money makers. It has especially increased during the summers. But this kind of trickles down with the affecting of jobs and incomes in Alaskan communities because that's something that is also very heavily relied on. Unfortunately, with temperatures changing, this is affecting the amounts of fish that's available and their migration patterns. For example, in the Gulf of Alaska, there has been a massive decline of cod due to the temperatures, and those are big money fish. And with those lacking, a lot of fishermen are having a hard time bringing in some steady income. With migration patterns too, a lot of people will come in for the summers, but if it's not around the time that the temperature of the water is the fish prefer, then it's going to be a fluke for the people who came in to fish, and that's going to be also very hard to work around as well. I have possible solutions here. So, my biggest thing is looking at what's happening to the environment and trying to adapt around it. So, the two biggest things I thought would be good stabilizers for those are maritime. So, with the ice-covered waters combined with temperatures rising, ships are going to be put into a very good position here. They're going to become a lot more necessary, and I think it's going to help bring a larger amount of resources as well as more opportunities on water, such as bringing tourism and cruises. I know with the whole increase of temperature, this is also bringing some of the whales closer in, so that could also be a very good tourism attraction. And I think if we just kind of focus more to the water, it's going to be a lot safer to keep Alaska going. Another thing would be going with hydropower, so following the same thing with water here. With glaciers also melting here, it's going to increase the amount of precipitation and water flow for rivers. And in the falls already, Alaskan reservoirs are typically full already, and we're almost having to be required to take advantage of this extra water and use more hydropower because there's going to be such a large sum coming in. And I think with these two combined, I think we can kind of adapt with the heat increase and kind of almost make up for it with water instead of focusing on oils and fisheries, or not completely focusing on those two things. Overall, so what's going on with the Alaskan economy? So I think there's a little bit too much reliance on oils, gases, and fishing. And I think if we put too much focus on them, it's going to cause a collapse, especially since all those things can easily be taken away with temperatures and just running out of those things in general. And so for a solution, I believe that we need to kind of adapt with the climate change and kind of turning our eyes towards the water and taking advantage of their maritime for transport, as well as invest more in hydro energy to help keep Alaska with their strong economy. Congratulations.